Ooh.
Things are starting to move every time I turn around.
We're not saving that scoop.
It looks kind of gross. Welcome back to drybonesgarage. This episode is a part of a series where me and my dad take a 63 Corvair and a G-body frame and combine them together to create a hot rod. And this week we're going to be continuing on with our hood scoop project. If you haven't seen the videos that come before it, I'll link them in the description for you. Things might make a bit more sense after watching those. Anyways, in this week's video we lay up the hood from our mold. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you at the end of the episode.
We've done a bit more refining on the hood. It's starting to look like something. A little bit of blending needs to be done yet. We still got some flaws in the front end, and there's still some work to do, but we're getting close. Some high spots on this side that we need to knock down on the outer edge, try and get it in unison or uniform to the other side. But we're getting a pretty good even center line on this puppy now. I'm pretty happy with that, but there's still quite a bit more to do, so I'm gonna shut you off for now and get back to the sanding, which I don't imagine you guys really want to see. Ooh, okay, she ain't set up yet. New plan.
Well, it isn't without its flaws, and we're running out of time with it. The foam is moving more than I'd like, but we've got it probably 90% there, so I think from here we're going to throw some paint on it, make our mold, and then finish whatever alterations we're going to make in the end. I know I would have liked to have made the transitions more like what's over the headlights on this hood, but yeah, we just don't have time, and we're into the foam now, so things are starting to move or wanting to move every time I turn around. So yeah, I guess we're stuck with what we have, and we're going to move forward with it. Okay, obviously this is not a sanitary environment, so we got a fair amount of crap in the paint, but that was just some cheap enamel. Literally Rust-Oleum. You get it at your local hardware store with a little bit of reducer and some MEKP put into it. Kind of surprised at the finish. I wasn't anticipating that. I just wanted something relatively smooth that would be for easy release. So, yeah.
Oh, it looks nice. White and glossy.
Yeah, hopefully we have better luck with this mold than we did the last one. I didn't bother cleaning up in here, I just scuffed it and shot it.
Is it dry?
No, I put some MEK in it, so it should set up fairly quick. But it's cold in here, so it's going to take a while. And I shut that stove off because I didn't want to blow the shop, but that did help warming things up and all. You know, from this angle, it almost reminds me of a Camaro. A Gen 2.
Yeah. We put some extra bracing on it for support.
This is going to be awkward because all the places you would grab onto it are kind of hard to get to. Let's just flip it up and over. Up and over.
I don't know what this is. Oh.
There you go. All right, I think we're gonna have to cut that stuff loose.
Did we make a mistake?
Yeah, I guess we should have masked that off. More of that goop got in here than I thought would. That was easier than I expected. Easy, 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 easy. I really didn't want to hurt the sheet metal any more than we had to, because this is, you know, outside of that leading edge. You know, from here back, that's viable metal we can use yet, you know?
Yeah.
We're bending the metal. I don't want to do that. The primer actually stayed with the mold rather than the hood. And I know I was taking shortcuts, but I didn't think they were that bad. One-hit wonder.
What's a one-hit wonder?
We're not saving that scoop. We're gonna have to gouge it out of the mold by the look of it. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up wrecking the metal.
Isn't it kind of odd how we spent so much time on a lot of stuff we're just gonna have to throw away?
I tell you what, if this was being done to save money, absolute fail. You know, could have bought a hood, and granted, you can't get this. At least I've never seen one. And why on earth would anybody make one unless they've done what we've done? I think we went pretty aggressive when we set this thing down on the frame. I did put that frame deep into the car when we set it down. But I was also basing that decision off of how low the old sat in the chassis. When I knew it was going to be snug, but I didn't think it was going to be hood scoop required snug.
Let me show you guys what's happening. That's what it looks like.
Easy. Keep in mind, we're trying to save this form, right? We want to save the form, huh? We want to save the form, and you're banging that into the form. I'm about at the point where we could just twist the metal up. What's loose is, you know, where we could be and get away with it. Man, we are broke free right up to the very lip of this thing almost. I don't understand why we're necessarily having this level of a fight with it. She's wanting to break free. There she is. All right, peel her out. Yay. That's what I was worried about. I saw that through the glass.
What was that? A chemical reaction?
Chemical reaction with the paint. Oh, this thing is still gooey. Yeah, it's kind of too bad. I saw something just a few days ago where a guy had done something. I don't know if he was using hardboard and then dowels and like sticky aluminized duct tape or something. You know, the metallic stuff, and formed up some wheel flares using that. And I was like, oh man, if we had thought to do that with the hood, we could have been done with this a month ago or two now. How long have we been farting around with this, waiting for it to set up?
A few.
Jeez.
Well, like 2, I don't know.
Way more than I'd like to admit. This should have been, this is a project we should have had finished weeks ago at least. And a whole lot of wasted material. And this guy, I mean, he had his thing set up and formed up, and it looked like he had done it a day or two. I was like, oh man, that is brilliant. Why didn't I think of that?
It looks kind of gross.
It is kind of gross, but this is why the thing kept moving and we were fighting it the whole time. So yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna pull a win out of this, but it really probably should have been a fail all around.
But what did it cost?
Oh. I don't even want to think about the cost.
Goodbye, mold.
Mold?
Yeah, goodbye, hood scoop mold.
Oh.
You've done us a service. I think we're going to be doing this the rest of the day. Okay, so after a lot of chipping away, this is our result.
So far.
There is a chemical reaction with the paint or something like that.
Yeah, the paint probably hadn't set up enough, or I don't know what, but it looks like even through the release agent, the polyester resin had some sort of funky reaction, cut right through the paint into the primer, literally liquefied it all, and that's why we had to chip this thing out rather than just break it off. I think we might have been better off just leaving the hood section, the steel, bare and waxed, but we still would have had a mother of a fight with that hood, or the scoop, I should say. Got a lot of work ahead of us to get this thing ready for actually molding the hood. I had thought we would be ripping this out and forming up the hood today. I had hoped. Obviously in vain.
So what have you done with this thing so far?
Yeah, slobbed a whole bunch of stripper on it, get rid of the primer. All I did was hit it with the stripper probably 4 or 5 times. Got all the primer off of it, a fair amount, well, I shouldn't say all the primer, most of the primer off, and a fair amount of the paint that decided to stick to the mold instead of the hood, and just started hitting it with the 180 and the DA, so that's about the extent of it. Now I'm kind of working the rim by hand, get the primer out that didn't come out, and yeah, we'll just keep working this down finer and finer until we have something that I think will release the hood when we roll it in. Just keeping on.
Is it just me, or does this kind of look like city lights from a satellite view? Okay, so we're about ready to wax it up, and we're gonna put some fiberglass in there.
We're about ready to lay it up. I'm thinking we might want to just hit it with a polisher, and then we'll wax it. What do you think?
Okay.
All right, I'll go get it. Cleans up pretty nice overall. Let's wipe it down, start waxing it up. We're gonna have some problem spots, but hopefully, overall, we get a clean break out of this.
Are we gonna have to fill them up, the holes, with something?
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill them up with the resin, and then we'll have to body work those areas when we pop the hood out of this form. After seeing what the resin did to, any of those materials we were using, it's kind of reluctant. I don't like that. Let's see if we can scrape that out. I don't know if this is going to do anything for us, but I'm thinking it might help us to release, or at least identify, once this is laid up and we're trying to break things apart, we find the tape, we should be able to, with a putty knife, pop a wedge and get on down the road, rather than fight and poke and try and guess where the form ends and the part begins, like we had with the deck lid.
That's about it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please give us a like on the video. And if you're curious as to what we're going to be doing in the future with the car and maybe other projects, please consider subscribing. That would be very much appreciated. Anyways, I hope you all have a happy new year. I hope you guys enjoyed this year. I know I did. It was actually kind of funny because I was contemplating this year and just thinking that a lot more good happened in it than I first realized. Yeah, so I hope that's the same for everyone else watching, and I'll see you guys later. See you next year.